Good afternoon, and welcome to a quick episode of Que-stead-Que. What you gonna do? I don't know, but something's gonna grow. Well, I'm here real quick to show you that I have just begun my Cipollini onions for dehydration. This is the experimental batch I had from the farmer's market. I bought 10 of them for $5. They come in like the little tub thing. And so I had, let's see, I cooked with I cooked with 4. And I gave 1 away. So I had 5 left. Wait, let's see. Okay, yep, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, cooked with 1. Wait, cooked with 4. Gave 1 away, that's 5. Okay, I had 5 left. And so I was able to get them on 3 tiers. And this is an experimental batch. I'm going to see how they come out once they're dehydrated. I'm going to see how they come out. If they come out nicely, then when I go to the farmer's market in 2 days, then I will load up on Cipollinis. I said I wanted to buy $20 worth and try to get a half pint. I don't know. We're going to see how much these 5 give me. Now, this is my regular onion powder, just from regular standard onions that I had gotten from the food bank. And I dehydrated these probably about 2 months ago, I would think, when I first started with the dehydrating. And I was able to get a half pint, and then this little seasoning bottle here of the regular onion, and that came from 1 batch. But for that 1 batch, I didn't have this dehydrator yet. This is a 9-tier dehydrator. My other dehydrator is 4 tiers. And so out of the 4 tiers, I was able to get this much, and I dehydrated, and these were larger onions too. I think I dehydrated about 4 or 5 onions total, and I was able to get that. So I'm hoping that the Cipollini stretch fire, my goal is to get a half pint, because they're going to be for special use only. Because when I discovered Cipollinis this summer, and I've cooked with them, I've done, I made the Cipollini onion glaze. I've caramelized them to put in my little Alfredo last week. Yesterday, I used them to make some smothered potatoes. Oh my God, took it to the next level. Oh my God. I cannot live without a Cipollini. And the Cipollini man at the farmer's market told me, he said, get them bought before the holiday. He said, because I usually run out, because our farmer's market is open year round. He said, I usually run out around mid-November. We're in September now. We're almost late September. So now is the time. Hey, I can get out of those folks' way who want to buy at the last minute. I will get my Cipollinis now while he has them, and they're in plentiful. It's a plentiful bounty. So anyway, this is my experimental, because I was assumed you can dehydrate Cipollinis just like you can any other onion, but y'all know this is the creme de la creme, Italian onion that is super sweet. I love it. It's better than a shallot, okay? And I love shallots. I thought that was the top of the line onion until I discovered Cipollinis. Okay, so, and I love them. I can't live without them, and I refuse to go a season without Cipollinis. Now, I thought about freezing them, but I had asked, now my sister disagrees, but I said, well, I'm going to listen to the Cipollini man, because he ought to know. He grows them at the farmer's market. And yeah, y'all, I'm still sitting in junk here, because this is the little work table. The Cipollini man, I asked him about freezing. I said, can you chop up Cipollinis and freeze them or whatever to save and preserve? He said, I suppose that you can. He said, I don't think that the taste would be as good. Now, I have a food saver, thing. What you call it? The thing that you run it through the little machine, and it takes all the air out. A vacuum sealer. That's the name of it. What did I just call it? Anyway, okay. Don't mind me, y'all. Anyway, my sister, that's why she disagreed. She was like, just use your food saver. She said, that's going to take the air out. You should be able to freeze those Cipollinis just like you would freeze any other onion. Yeah, but I really don't like frozen onions, you guys. I'm going to be honest with you. So I said, well, dehydrated onions are delicious. When I add my onion, mine is a combination between flakes and powder. I didn't want it to be like an onion powder, but I wanted it to be like flaky and powdery. I don't know if that makes sense. So anyway, that's the batch that I did earlier with the regular onions. So with the Cipollinis, on the other hand, I don't know. I'm going to see if I can do the flake. If the flakes look okay, then I'll leave them that way. But because a powder, it would take, of course, more Cipollinis because that food processor is going to, make it be less. So I'm probably going to go with the flakes. Give it a couple of pulses and I'm done. And then I can use them that way. So I can use those flakes to caramelize. It won't be like cutting a fresh, true Cipollini, but it's going to be the flavor for sure. And so anyway, hopefully, like I said, this is the experimental batch. Once they're done, I'll do a film tomorrow showing how they turned out. I will do a taste test because now that I know what a Cipollini tastes like raw, I know what they taste like cooked. And so I'll be able to know what it tastes like from the dehydrator. I'll be able to tell whether or not the flavor explodes and is still sweet or sweeter, or if, they're bland or whatever, I'll know. Now, I did set the dehydrator on the videos. It says always to dehydrate onions for 10 to 12 hours. And my book also says that. But my other onions, it took 18 hours. And that could be because I had so many in that batch. Now, these are not overlapped. I just went 3, rows, and I didn't overlap them. I don't think they're going to take 18 hours, but I set the timer at 18, but I will be checking on them. It's 4:45 now. I put them on at about 4:30. So I'll check them at midnight. We'll see where they're at there after 8 hours, and that will tell me. I will probably turn the dehydrator off tonight. Usually I'll run it all night if I'm going 18 hours or anything over 12, but I don't think I need to do that. We'll see where we're at, if they're still moist, if they're real rubbery. I chopped them as thin as I could, and I tried to ring them up. So I was able to get rings and then half rings. So it's just a smorgasbord of how I chopped them, but I tried to get them as thin as possible. A couple came out thick, but the thick ones I put on the bottom tier of the dehydrator so that they will get more dehydration. And then, like I said, it's 3 tiers, so they're going to go, I think they're going to go fast. They may even be done by midnight. I don't know. We'll see. And I set the dehydrator. They say to set it at, on the directions and videos says 135. Mine goes up to 176, so I just put it at 176. It may, make a difference. Now, one thing I'm noticing, in my dehydrator, when I dehydrate regular onions, I do not smell them. These few little Cipollinis here, oh, I've got to go open that kitchen window. Because, and I can't do it outside now, not here in Michigan, not with these. I live by 3 lakes and we got too many animals roaming about. So I'm not going to do it outside. I could have taken them to the greenhouse because I do have outdoor electricity. I could have taken the dehydrator to the greenhouse and dehydrated them in there, but a little too late. So we'll see if the smell dissipates. But even if it does, I can easily air out the house. It doesn't bother me. For the greater good of the Cipollini, we shall press on, okay? But now, the next batch where I'm going to be using all 9 tiers, I have a feeling that it will be in the greenhouse. And depending on how much these 3 tiers get me, if they flake down to where I get, a quarter of a half pint, then I'll know only 1 more batch. I'll get probably 2 more, things of it. They're $5 for 10. So I could get, actually, I would get $10 worth if it gives me like a good, decent amount of where I want to be. Or I may decide to go with, depending on how good they taste, I might decide that I want to go with a pint. So if I go with the pint, which is this size, then I will just still get the $20 worth of Cipollinis, and I'll have probably 2 batches. But then I have 2 dehydrators too. But if I go out to the greenhouse, I'll take them both out there and just run them. And that will be this weekend. I'll start them up. I'll get them cut up. Now, that's another thing, cutting up the Cipollinis. Okay, now with my regular onions, yeah, my regular, this is my standard onion. Yeah, they burned and everything, but it wasn't that bad. I was able to get most of them done. I was under the cold water for the most part, and I kept my hands rinsed, that type of thing. And I pressed through. It wasn't that difficult. My eyes burned for a minute when they would start. I would take a break, get under the cold water, rinse my hands, rinse the onions. I would be fine. With the Cipollinis, I was fine through all onions until I got to that last one. And the last one was the smallest. It had the Cipollini juice on it, and it was that slime type juice. And I did wash the Cipollinis. I prepped them yesterday. I cut the center out of them yesterday, and then I washed them real good. I put them in the refrigerator overnight, and that kind of stiffened them a little bit because y'all know Cipollinis are soft and slippery. So today, I rinsed them again, and I, let them drain, and then I got started. I was fine the whole time until I got to that last onion, which was the smallest. It was probably no bigger than a $half piece. But what happened was, when I cut the Cipollini, the first thing that happened was just a splick of Cipollini juice flew into my right eye. I knew that was the beginning of the end, y'all. Woo! Okay, so when it popped me in the eye, like, you know how toothpaste can pop you in the eye and, you're fine for a minute, then all of a sudden you get that cool burn. Actually, you know what? I'm weird like this, but I like the toothpaste burn because it's cool and refreshing. But, you still, you don't want nothing in your eye. So anyway, I waited a few minutes. Nothing happened. All of a sudden, I went and did my next chop of the Cipollini onion, and I hit a piece of slime in the middle of it. And that was all she wrote. Next thing I know, I was burning. Both eyes were burning. And before I could even finish that teeny tiny onion out, I had to get to that cold water and get busy. So just a fair warning. The Cipollinis they'll either purr like a kitten, or they're going to give you HE double hockey sticks. So that last one got me. So I'll keep that in mind. Number 1, I will wear gloves the next time. Number 2, I will do it under the cold water or close to it, so that if anything jumps off, especially with that Cipollini juice and the slime, I can hurry up and hit it with the cold water to take that away, because I'm quite sure that was whatever the chemical is that onions have that make you cry, because that one was loaded with it. But as soon as I ran it under the cold water, that little slime went right away. Okay, so that's it, you guys. So I'm doing good. Still wearing my compression stockings, and my legs are doing good today. I can bend my toes. I even cut my toenails last night after I took the compression stockings off, because they were compressing my toes, okay? And my toenails had gotten not too long, but long enough to where I felt they were digging, okay? Or it felt like they were about to dig into my skin. They got sore. So I was like, oh no, I've got to get these cut. So they weren't that long, but I got them cut. So now my toes feel good. Okay, so I'm going to get off of here. And so I'm through with everything I have to do today except for watering the garden. And so I'll get that done. And then I will be back on tomorrow to show you how the Cipollini onions turned out. And I'll probably get them processed before I come on, and then I'll do a taste test. I'll just taste one, and I'll compare it to the other onions, which are your sweet Vidalia. I'll compare it to that, and I'll let you know if it's going to be worth me doing another batch. I have a feeling I need to, or would I rather just have the Cipollinis fresh? I don't know. But if you've ever frozen Cipollinis, let me know, because My sister's not convinced that they can't be frozen. But if you've ever frozen them, let me know. And let me know how they tasted. Were they watered down? Did it take away from the taste? Is it worth it freezing them? Because I can do that too. But because the dehydration is some work. And oh, another thing, and then I'm going to get off of here. It is a little more work with the cipollinis than your standard onions, because cipollinis, before you can peel them, you have to boil them for about 1 to 2 minutes in boiling water. You put your water to a boil before you put the cipollinis in. Once you drop the cipollinis, you wait 1 to 2 minutes. Yesterday I did 3 minutes. And when I start seeing that the top layer is peeling back from the onion, then that's when I take it from the water. Then I run it under cold water to cool them off, and then I proceed to peel. And they're very, very easy to peel. Otherwise, you will not be able to peel that cipollini. So so that's an extra step you'll have to take if you're going to dehydrate them, freeze them, or anything else. You need to get that top layer of peel off, which is real thin, and then you need to you're gonna have to do the prep for that, which isn't long really. Putting on a pot of boiling water, you can set that and forget it. And then once you know it's boiling, then you drop the cipollinis in, so you're only looking at 3 minutes from there. And then you can just get them cooled off, and and then for me, I think it's going to be easier to do it just like I did it last night. Do that, for the prep. Put them in the, I almost said icebox, but put them in the refrigerator overnight, and then proceed the next day with the dehydration process. Okay, you guys, so that's it for today. That's today's episode. So I'm going to get off of here. My shepherd's pepper seeds are coming along. These came from the farmer's market, shepherd's peppers. I know that it's an organic place, so they don't use pesticide. And to consider yourself organic at our farmer's market, because the state comes in, okay? They get checked. So anyway, and I've seen them there. So if somebody has a sign that says certified organic, yeah, you're going to pay a little bit more, but they are usually certified organic with no pesticides. And those shepherd's peppers, you all have seen them. So I decided to save the seeds, as many as I can. So they're coming along. They're still drying. I'll give them another week, just sitting there drying, and that'll be it. All right, so that's it, you guys. I will talk to you all later, and may God bless you all. And let me know if you plan to dehydrate some or freeze some shepherd's peppers. Let me know, or if you've done it before. Renee, I can't wait to hear about how you like them. I mean, not shepherd's peppers, cipollini onions. Oops. See, and y'all know I love shepherd's peppers. That stays on my mind. I've got 4.5 bags, because I did 3 last Saturday. I had 1 in there and a half bag. So I'm probably, if they still have shepherd's peppers, I'm probably going to get some more, and those will be specifically for cooking. So those aren't going to be chopped up and fries. They're just going to be cut in half and frozen. And then when I do some cooking, then I'll use them at that point. All right. Talk to you guys later, and may God bless you all. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.